Marquette Hubin gets an odd feeling after putting her young daughter to bed. So she checks the baby monitor app on her phone, just to be sure, and notices something that freaks her out. It's a translucent figure moving to the left of her daughter's bed. And while at first, Marquette thinks it could be one of her 3 cats, the figure's translucent appearance and her daughter's behavior leading up to bedtime give her pause.
My name is Marquette, and this is my video. She was just not acting like herself that night. She wanted to sleep with me. Usually she likes her room, but she was fighting sleep and not wanting to go in there. I had a bad feeling. And so when I checked the baby monitor and I saw a shadowy figure run across the room, and I didn't know what it was, and I freaked out. I felt scared. I felt shocked. I wasn't certain about what I saw.
So Marquette goes to her daughter's bedroom to check on her.
You're cat in here? Is there a cat in here? No.
So, if not a cat, then what exactly did Marquette see? Watch closely. As what appears to be a misty line moves towards his truck. But when a neighbor's car's headlights approach, the image moves back across the yard and seems to take the form of a person.
My name is Casey, and this is my video. I went outside to see what was going on, and I didn't see anybody out there. There wasn't anyone around walking down the street, so I went back inside and looked at the footage again, and I was like, wow, check that out. I wonder what I got on camera.
Casey checks in with the neighbor whose car pulled up in the video.
She said she didn't notice anything, but when I showed her the video, it definitely gave her chills as well, too. She was way closer to the ghost than I was. I was in my kitchen.
He and his friends also tried to debunk the video after the fact.
One of my friends tried to mention, well, what if your sprinkler was moving? And I go, well, my sprinklers don't move. There was no breeze that day, and they're also, my sprinklers don't rotate or move around.
Leaving Casey mystified, and more than just a little bit unsettled.
What's interesting about this clip, it doesn't seem like your typical shadow figure. It looks like a white mist, but you can see the structure of the person walking in the mist. A lot of times that could be a camera error, like it could really be a person sometimes, like overexposure, but this doesn't seem like that. Like this seems like that camera actually caught something paranormal gliding through the scene.
At first, there was a sort of subtle shifting of the light, and I kind of thought, I don't know, looks like maybe a car is pulling into a driveway down the street. And then, of course, a car pulls into the driveway, exactly what it looked like. And then the apparition walks down the sidewalk. And it was suddenly so clear. It was like, that's what I'm looking at.
And though Casey is a little freaked out, the fact that it could be some kind of apparition creeping around his home isn't totally out of left field.
I have a very old Spanish-style mansion next to me that was built in the 1920s, so, maybe there was some disturbance that happened there, and this ghost is wandering around the neighborhood trying to figure out its purpose. And my house back in the early 60s and 70s was actually a surfer who actually was a drug runner. So I don't know if anything really nefarious happened at my house, before we lived there, to where this ghost is in my front yard.
Or maybe, whatever this is less sinister. Rosie begins acting strangely.
Where's the ghost? Right there?
Hi, my name is Emily, and I filmed this video. We were just recording Rosie because she kept barking at something. We didn't even know what she was barking at. She kept staring at like the table and the chairs. And then she started growling. And she's such a friendly dog that she doesn't normally do that. So as soon as she started growling at the table and then she started barking at it, that's when I was like, what's going on?
And that's when whatever Rosie is barking at strikes back. Watch the video that Emily posts directly to social media closely.
What the
Watch again, within the circle that Emily places on her post. Right after Rosie recoils, a shadow comes out of nowhere, seemingly snatching at Rosie's face. And when Emily re-watches the video later, she is totally freaked out.
I swear I saw something when I was recording. So then looking back, what I saw when I watched the video, I was like, oh, it's just the paper. Because I thought it was the paper flying up. And then I watched it again. I watched it again. Because maybe when she ran, the paper went up and that's what I saw. But then no, I zoomed in and the paper stays flat. I was scared to sleep. me and Janessa, we got a 2-bedroom place and we slept in the same room because we were scared. We were like, yeah, there's something here.
What the
The shadow almost seems like a hand that's reaching out to swipe at the back of the dog as it's retreating.
It was kind of a strange shape, so I couldn't decipher if it was actually a hand reaching for it or what it was, but the dog clearly sees this, and reacts to it.
What the
Sometimes when things manifest, they're not going to manifest in a human shape. And also, sometimes when things manifest, they don't necessarily go by the laws of physics that we understand. Hence why Rosie's looking up at the tall corner and then all of a sudden it's right in front of her. I definitely think that Rosie is onto something. I think something's there. I think she sees something.
I was passed down a bunch of antique dolls, the porcelain dolls, and he just happened to love them. He loved them, so we kept collecting them. We would go to antique shops, all sorts of different places, and buy these things.
And they would place these dolls, along with other collectibles, in the cabinet. And shortly after, it started acting up.
Hello? Is there a reason why you wanted me to open the door?
And on this day, once the cabinet doors are open, things become extremely bizarre. Watch closely.
Is there something you wanted to say? All right, I'm about to close the door. I'm pretty sure that doll just looked up at me.
Did you catch it? Watch the doll with the red hair on the left.
All right, I'm about to close the door. I'm pretty sure that doll just looked up at me.
And then, seconds later,
That one right there. But I could have been wrong. Did you move the doll? Yo.
After a while, the head went right back down and looked right at me.
Did you move the doll? Yo.
So I was kind of done at that point because I verified that, yeah, I did see you move.
Yo.
It's a rush. It really is a rush when it's happening.
All right, I'm about to close the door. I'm pretty sure that doll just looked up at me.
When I see a doll head move like that, seemingly on its own, that's when I gently close the cabinet and pull the paranormal equivalent of just fading backwards into the hedges.
There was some shift, or at least a feeling, culminating, I think for me, when that red-headed doll moved. The first time could have been gravity. The second time, I don't think so.
Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick? What was that?
Skinwalker. He's walking creepy.
Dude, that was a skinwalker. What?
Watch again. As the coyotes disappear into some brush. Moments later, an oddly shaped humanoid figure emerges.
Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick? What was that?
My name is TJ and this is my video. To me, it looked like a tall person figure. Like, I would have guessed that it was 7 feet tall or so, and it just had like disproportionately long arms.
Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick?
So off the bat, I was confused and just trying to figure out like, what could that have been?
What was that?
Skinwalker. He's walking creepy.
Dude, that was a skinwalker. What?
Being from Utah, there's actually a place here called Skinwalker Ranch, and there's been a few times where I'll hear stories about it and be like, there's no way that's real, right? And then after seeing something like that in person, my first thought, was that a skinwalker, you know? Because that's what we would have related to, is pretty odd looking, and skinwalkers can be like, they can look lots of different ways.
What the frick?
I'm gonna go get my gun.
That was a skinwalker.
I wouldn't necessarily say I was afraid, but we all did sleep in the tents with our guns next to us since we were on that hunt.
So, what exactly did TJ see that day? Through his scope.
You can judge a little bit of the size of it because there's some dogs playing in the not too distant background. And this figure's there. It looks like a large humanoid figure, and it's moving across the field at a very decent pace, looking like it's maybe swinging its very long arm.
Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick?
Whatever it is, it's freaking odd.
What the frick?
I'm gonna go get my gun.
That was a skinwalker.
Given the location and the animals that were nearby, perhaps TJ's instincts are right.
One of the most common animals that a skinwalker is purported to turn into is a coyote. And we see in this video 2 coyotes walking quite naturally into the underbrush, and out from the other side emerges what appears to be this misshapen sort of humanoid figure. And this correlates with the stories that people have told about skinwalkers.
Fortunately, TJ and his friends and family escaped from whatever this thing was, unharmed.
Hey, do you see that? Do you see that?
A figure.
I'm afraid.
Dark, hulking, bipedal.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And intimidating enough for the man to think better about staring at it for too long.
Oh my God. You see that?
So he cuts the camera, heads inside, and eventually sends the footage to his close friend, local paranormal investigator Clay Shiner, who posts the video online, where it explodes almost overnight.
My name is Clay Shiner. I live in Baxter, Tennessee. Knowing that I'm really into the paranormal, I'm the kind of the go-to guy around here to ask about it, my friend sent it to me.
Hey, do you see that? Do you see that?
At first, I asked him, are you pranking me? Because I thought, this looks too good, and this looks too weird. And he said, no, I swear, I don't know what this is, and I kind of wanted your opinion on it.
Oh my God. Do you see that? Do you see?
I've seen other Bigfoot videos of people here in the mid-state and here in Tennessee, and I've never seen anything as clear as that because it's in broad daylight. It blew my mind.
And that daylight provides a much clearer view.
Do you see that?
Than usual.
It's a tall, human-like figure that seems to be completely covered from head to toe in very dark hair or fur.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Something that you don't normally see in other Bigfoot sightings was the wingspan of this creature. It seemed to have much longer arms than its own torso, and gave me this whole ape-like kind of proportion.
And if it is in fact Bigfoot, it wouldn't be a first for the area.
It makes sense that they would be seen here in the Middle Tennessee area because they are very, very prevalent in Middle Kentucky, and they're also very, very prevalent in Northern Georgia and in Eastern Tennessee.
We often think of Bigfoot sightings primarily in the deep woods of the Northwest, so like Oregon, Washington, Alaska. But these sightings do happen around the country in the South, the Midwest, so in states like Tennessee.
But beyond the figure's look and location, perhaps what's most revealing are its actions.